In this video, we are going to talk about the 12th South neighborhood in Nashville, Tennessee. I've got my partner Tucker with me, and we're going to take you through and talk about some of our favorite places in 12th South. What is life like there? What is the good of living there? And what are some of the challenges? And it all starts right now. All right, Tucker, let's jump into it. 12th South is on our mind. Where do you start with 12th South? Where is it, first of all, and what do people need to know?
Sure. So if you're in downtown Nashville and you just come straight south, you kind of hit that 12th South neighborhood. It really goes downtown Nashville, then you really hit more of a 21st Avenue and then Green Hills. And this is just off a little bit to the east. It's a neat pocket where it just all of a sudden created this cult following with great restaurants and a lot of walkability, which has really brought just kind of a new generation of people to the community.
Yeah, and it's changed a ton over the years as we've watched it grow. And now it is probably one of the top destinations for people coming to town, tourists, bachelorette parties, woo girls. Well, they're going to stop in 12th South. You know, they're going to go downtown Broadway. They're coming to 12th South. For that reason, the dynamic has changed there some. Some of the locals maybe shined away from it, but there's so many good things in 12th South to participate in, to enjoy, to appreciate about it. Tucker, where do you want to start with 12th South?
Well, I like to start with where I'm going to eat, Clay. So obviously, we're going to talk about the 12th South Tap Room. So if you like a draft beer and just something fun to eat, that's a great place to start. That's where my family still goes because our two kids absolutely love their cheese dip and their quesadillas. They really get the lion's share of our money. If we're going out with couples in 12th South, Bar Taco, you got to go there. Again, just living in taco world over here, but a lot of great food, great atmosphere, great views.
I love it. Taco World is right. One of my daughters had her birthday party on 12th South, and you know what they did? We went to Bar Taco for dinner, and then they walked up and down the strip looking for the murals to take their photos in front of them. You know, there's probably a dozen really cool murals. Easy way to pass the time. The girls had a great time, and it's an easy party. You know, you can just walk up and down and check out the shops. It's a neat place for foot traffic. You know, you can really just walk the whole thing. It's a pretty cool setup. What else is noteworthy?
Sure, and that's really what 12th South is. So when you do show up, you're going to realize you do have a lot of people from out of town, and you do have a large mixture of locals. So you get both worlds. It's not just a tourist destination, but a lot of walkability. They sell Christmas trees right through there. They sell pumpkins during that time of year. They've got a farmer's market, and you see people that live 2, 3, 4 blocks away. They get up in the morning, put the baby in the stroller, head on down 12th South, go to Portland Brew or Frothy Monkey. It's really your choice. You see the social aspect when you're walking up and down the street. So that's really what you're getting with 12th South.
Yes, it's very social, especially on the weekends, especially in the evening. In the daytime or morning, it may be a little slower, but if you go there on a Saturday, it's people everywhere. You know, one of our favorite things to do used to be to go to the Sylvan Park, the swing sets, all the stuff in the park right there, and then walk across the street to Las Paletas to get a popsicle, really, really high quality popsicles. Just an easy way to spend some time on a Saturday morning. Another place for lunch that you got to know about is Edley's Barbecue. It's right there on the south side of 12th South. I think they have over like 2,500 Google reviews at this point. So if you needed another reason to go, they've been well reviewed. They have incredible desserts there. They got the outdoor covered porch with the music playing, the lights up. It's just a cool, vibe. Certainly an easy place to hang out and get lunch or dinner any day of the week is Edley's right there. They also have a bar inside Edley's if you want to hang out and have a drink there. That's a good option. What else, Tucker?
Well, first of all, if you go to Edley's for a beer, it doesn't matter what day it is. All the bar stools are full, so that's kind of comical. When we're there, we're usually getting ribs, and that's one of my son's favorites. But I guess what we want to talk about when it comes to 12 South is really who's living there. So you have people that have moved here from out of town, and there's still that youthful vibe. You also have college students that are in undergrad or graduate programs where their parents come in, do a 1031 exchange. They buy a property, daughter or son live there. They rent out the other rooms, and it kind of offsets that investment strategy because it's a highly walkable community. And then on the other side of that is you do have young professionals that live there going, I'm not ready for suburbia, but still need to be downtown. And so you get the best of both worlds.
That's exactly right. It's one of the coolest neighborhoods to live in, quality of life wise. I do think if you get a couple of blocks off of 12th South, you may enjoy a little more space from all the tourist element, and you can drop into the coffee shop or drop back out to the house. You do have a school you can walk to in 12th South Waverly Belmont, which is a pretty awesome setup. Tons of sidewalks all over this neighborhood, highly walkable, lots of people walking their dogs. There are some golf carts you'll see driving around the neighborhood too for easy access around. You know, one of my favorite things about 12th South is that you also have 8th Avenue South, which is really the eastern border. And so if you didn't find what you're shopping for on 12th, 8th Avenue probably has two of everything you would want. There's just a lot more commercial. There's a ton of restaurants. There's, workout facilities. There's Chick-fil-A. There's breakfast joints. There's just all kinds of stuff on 8th Avenue South. So depending on where you are, you can walk to either one. It's 4 blocks away technically. 8th Avenue South is noteworthy for that reason.
Well, it is, Clay. And then what I also like about it is if you're not finding what you're looking for, there's not a whole lot of inventory when you start talking about 12th South. And when you pull it up on a map and you go, okay, here's 12th South, I like that. You do have 8th Avenue, and you do have a few more high-end apartment complexes right along that corridor. And then you're back into Wedgwood, Houston. And we have several videos on Wedgwood, Houston, and what that development's coming into, where you do have the walkability to breweries and restaurants and the nightlife over there. So you definitely have a lot of different housing options and lifestyles that you can choose from right through there.
That's right. WeHo is kind of like a little sibling of 12th South. I feel like it's 12, 15 years behind 12th South. Definitely still emerging. There's a ton of development, a ton of density coming to Wedgwood, Houston. It's also a smaller neighborhood than 12th South really is. That change happened a little faster. It's got the soccer stadium right there in Wedgwood, Houston. So if you're looking around neighborhoods in Nashville, and you're looking at 12th South, it's worth knowing about Wedgwood, Houston. It's going to be a different vibe. It's not quite as many housing options, but there's also going to be more high rises. You get some downtown views from Wedgwood, Houston. If you like soccer, you're walking to the soccer stadium. You're walking to some really, really nice boutique restaurants in Wedgwood, Houston as well. And you have Fort Negley, which is a big park that overlooks downtown in Wedgwood, Houston. And we could talk about restaurants all day. Tons of, Gabby's grass-fed beef burgers is in Wedgwood, Houston. There's a ton of really good restaurants. We can't even go through them all. If you're looking back on 8th Avenue, I got to mention Fat Mo's is a kind of a hole-in-the-wall burger place. I used to go there all the time. They have a salt and pepper hamburger that's really insanely good. So that's on 8th Avenue if you're looking for a little local spot. Tucker, what else you got?
Sure. Well, you were talking about Fort Negley and you're talking about the outdoor activities. If we go back into 12 South, I would definitely walk on over to Belmont Boulevard. That's where a lot of people run. Your yards are going to start getting a little bit bigger. Of course, the prices also go up as well. But that's a great place to run up and down, and you'll see the traffic of the people. But when you do go and you start getting near, Belmont University, across the street from Curb Event Center is Bongo Java. That's really Nashville's first local coffee shop that really got going. And then you got Fido, which is right there in Hillsborough Village, both owned by the same people. But I would definitely check out those little spots.
I got to give a shout out to my guy I played pickleball with who started Bongo Java. He's a Nashville legend, Bob. So he's out there, and that's a mainstay coffee shop. It's been around forever. They have you can go in there and play, I think, checkers and it's just a different vibe. It's been there a really long time. A casual coffee shop. I got to throw out another spot on the south side of Belmont is going to be Martin's Barbecue. So if Edley's is too backed up or too busy, Martin's is a really good barbecue place as well. You're going to probably have a little more parking there, I feel like. And it's got a spacious interior. So there's actually multiple Martins, but that one in Belmont's a pretty cool one. Definitely worth checking out if you're still in the barbecue mood. What else is up there as you go north from there, Tucker?
Well, you start going north from there and you start getting to Hillsborough Village, where when you start getting near Vanderbilt University and Vanderbilt University Medical Center, you have Hillsborough Village, a lot of neat little pockets right through there. But But I want to go back to what you were discussing with parking for Martin's Barbecue. In 12 South, you're going to find out whenever you do get there, parking is a little bit more of a challenge. You might have to walk a block over, sometimes 2 blocks over. There is some parking. I know if we're going to Predators hockey game or Titans game, sometimes we'll stop at 12 South Tap Room and we'll have lunch there and then head over. We're always kind of holding our breath to see if we can find a parking spot.
Yeah, that's tough. Yes. So here's my number one fan. She never talks back to me either. I love it. Tucker, let's just talk about housing real quick in 12th South. What you've got is you have mostly single family historic homes. There is a good element of new construction that has taken place, all historically correct for the most part. And you're going to see, entry level, there are condos that exist. If you want to be in 12th South, you could get something for under 400,000 most of the time, but that 300, 400, 500 is going to get you a condo product. Single family houses, you're going to be probably closer to that $1 million mark, and it can go up to 3 million roughly or more. They're certainly commanding new prices as 12th South just gets more and more popular. I mean, it's insanely popular because it has the total lifestyle package. You can go to the park in the morning, get the coffee shop, you can stroll with the kids, you can go walk to lunch, you could walk back home and walk back to dinner. You could go to the Zany's Comedy Club on 8th Avenue and walk there that night. So there's lots to do there. There's no shortage of options, and it's so close to downtown Nashville, super close to Vanderbilt University and Belmont University. So you have and also interstate access is actually pretty darn convenient as well. So you have a lot of things to like about where it is. And I'll say also, if you're, regarding interstate access, if you work in Brentwood or Franklin, you can jump on the interstate and shoot south. You're on the south side of downtown Nashville. So especially for people that are working south of there, it can be pretty darn convenient. If you try to cross over into the other side of downtown Nashville, you may be adding some time to the commute there.
Oh, very much so. 12 South and those communities around it really sell themselves. If you are in the medical world, which a lot of people are, you have easy access into getting to the ED or anywhere around those certain areas and medical offices. You have 100 Oaks, which is a large outpatient area for Vanderbilt Medical Center, which is easy access to. Easy parking, probably the most convenient medical center I've ever had to experience. So I would definitely check that out. You're right. It really does sell itself. And there's multiple arteries to Brentwood, Franklin, Cool Springs, and anywhere downtown.
Yeah, the access is pretty incredible. And the cool thing to see is as the last few years, especially as you go north to downtown Nashville, up 12th Avenue South, you kind of go straight into the Gulch area. And between there, you just see those two areas, the boundaries are disappearing. It's being developed heavily. And also from that 12th Avenue South heading in, part of the world, you start catching those views of downtown, which is pretty awesome. So you're seeing some elevation. Some of my favorite properties are going to be right there and off of 12th Avenue as you go, like the Archer Street area. Those are insane views of downtown Nashville, some of the best. So you got the water park up there, or the water reservoir up on top of the hill, and the elevation changes. So that's a pretty cool little spot to check out if you're looking for big views.
Oh, yes, very much so. One last thing, before we wrap this up, on 8th Avenue is a place called Groom Guitars. And they used to be in downtown Nashville, right there on Broadway. They finally had to move. They needed a bigger facility. But the who's who of the music world buys their guitars from Groom Guitars. We were at the Ryman not too long, I guess it might have been 5 years ago by now, but David Gray was there. We're there, and he goes, I made no money on these tour dates here because I spent all of my money at Groom Guitars. And he played each song with a different guitar, and we laughed and enjoyed that moment.
Man, that's hilarious. Yeah, Nashville is rich with music history, so you see all kinds of musicians in this 12th South area. There's certainly a draw to this type of area. If you're looking at 12th South, I think I would also put in the conversation Sylvan Park. Sylvan Park is going to be very similar. It's going to be just a little further west. It's still going to be really accessible to Vanderbilt University. it feels kind of similar. It's not going to have the tourist element you get in 12th South with the really high-end boutiques, but it's going to feel more neighborhood, well, not neighborhoody, but just feel a little different. And they have the Greenway and the golf course over there at McCabe, tied to Sylvan Park. It's a little different, but kind of similar, kind of in the conversation. I'm also going to be looking at East Nashville. The other historic area that's near downtown Nashville is going to be East Nashville. Other side of the river, bigger area, has a really cool historic area. Areas, I feel like I'm saying areas a lot. Has a historic element that's really awesome. And it's going to be a heavily artistic and creative community in East Nashville. So those are probably the three most similar. Am I forgetting anything, Tucker? I guess Belmont, Hillsborough is going to be, that Hillsborough Village is kind of a thing, but it doesn't have the same identity, I don't feel like, that these other three have.
No, and I think each one has a different strength and weakness, and I think you have to really compare those out. So if you want to learn more of that, please give us a call. We do appreciate the calls that we're getting, and Clay, that's what we have here today.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, I just want to say thanks for coming out on this tour or this discussion of 12th South in Nashville, Tennessee. My name is Clay with the Kelton Group, the team, and we get contacted every single day from people like you asking us about Nashville, and we love it. We're a real estate team, so send us any questions you have. We've helped a lot of homeowners in the 12th South area and all around Nashville, Tennessee. So let us know what you're looking for or what you're thinking about, and we want to help show you around town. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon.